Well, we did it. It took 2 weeks, but I'm basically all set up. Today I'm going to show you how I fit everything into my 11 by 11 New York City room. Working on getting the camera lighting right. I'm right in front of a window, so I have super natural light. I have a south-facing window, and you can tell it. Yeah, you can tell my arm there. I probably look a little bit washed out. I don't really know the camera settings thing. Blinding myself. I don't know the camera settings thing as well, so I'm still messing around with all of that. I've watched a bunch of different videos to try and figure it out. But essentially I was able to get pretty much everything that I brought with me from Massachusetts to New York in here. I have one box of clothes that's going to go up in a storage thing, which I'll show y'all a little bit later. But I wanted to be a place that I enjoyed staying in. You know, the room isn't huge. I have one window, which is in front of me. And I did a lot of cool things to maximize space, so the loft above behind me with the desk and everything was a really good idea. But I have a lot of greenery going. I have enough storage for my clothes. I have a closet, which is super helpful. I know a lot of people don't. My backup was going to be one of those giant coat racks that just has wheels and is on the ground. But yeah, before we get into the room thing, just a general life update. Still applying to jobs, still working on new stuff. It's been pretty easy to adjust to the city, especially actually having been here by myself for a little bit before my roommates come has been really nice. It's allowed me to get more acquainted with the neighborhood that I'm in. I'm in Midtown. Not going to say where specifically. Not like it really matters. I love my neighborhood. I think the area is great. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. I haven't taken public transit yet, but for the most part, again, people are still on their shit when it comes to the coronavirus stuff, so everybody's wearing masks in stores, on the street, But yeah, it's been good. I'm waiting to hear back on a couple job things. We'll see what happens. The good thing is I have enough saved up for a while to kind of keep me going while I focus on, again, putting out content, getting more releases done, stuff like that. But in general, it's been a good time. New York City feels like it's getting back to usual. Like I said, I've been hanging around New York since I was a teenager. I'm 23 now. It feels like it used to, with the exception of no indoor dining, which is actually coming on September 30th. And there are still stuff. Obviously, there are no clubs and things like that. But the gyms are open again. Been back at the gym. Been a good time. Other than that, there's not much else going on. I'm going to show you how I did the room. It'll probably be super quick because, again, I think I filled like a 10 by 11 space, or 10 by 10, 11 by 11. So it's a little over 100 square feet. What would that be? Probably like, can't even do the math that fast. Somewhere in between 110 and, I'd say like 100 and 120 square feet. So working with a small space, but you can totally do it if you're thinking about moving to New York and you're concerned about the sizes. As long as you have a window, that was sort of like my thing, and high ceilings, because if you don't have high ceilings, then you can't do what I've done. If you're working with the right people, you know what you're looking for. Some people look specifically for south-facing windows. I was looking specifically for high ceilings. I knew I wanted that. Some rooms had no windows. A room with a window is a must for me. It really depends on who you are and what you want. I mean, everybody wants something different. Some people will make concessions based on price. Other people will pay a little bit more for something like in-unit washer dryers, etc., etc. An elevator. We're on a couple floor walk-up, which was a bitch to move, but really not that complicated. I'd imagine if you were on a 5th or 6th floor walk-up, it was probably really shitty. So that being said, what I'm going to do at some point is I know I have a couple friends who are interested in moving to the city, and in case you're just stumbling across this, I'll break that down too at some point, probably within the next couple weeks. I'm not an expert, but we were able to complete our search in 3 days because we knew what we were looking for, and now that we've actually lived here, or I've lived here, but you can spread the wealth. So anyway, without further ado, let's go see the room. This is going to be like the least cinematic room walkthrough ever, but we have a tight hallway, as you can tell. And I'm not going to do an apartment tour until we actually have this place set up. But yeah, so we come in here. Hopefully the full frame thing will be helpful, because I really felt like camera stuff doesn't do it justice. It's not huge. I'm not going to lie. See? How do you even... Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit. Nope. We're at full frame. This is it when you walk in. It's really not as small as it looks, but you kind of get the vibe here. I don't really know how to film this. This is great. This is where I just shot, actually. Let's start with the window here. Got a lovely alley view. My bamboo plant. The windows are disgusting, but it's fine. I usually have pigeons that are out here on this fire escape. Yeah, we really have high windows in this apartment, so we're lucky. Let me back up and see if it'll... There we go. Gotta get the lighting to readjust. But seriously, crazy high ceilings here. In terms of how everything's set up, the AC, obviously super important. Again, I touched on this on my last vlog, but having a lofted bed means definitely getting an extra fan, which I'm fortunate to have with me here to blow the cool air up on the upper level. Cheap dresser that I got from Amazon, which actually looks pretty good with all my extra junk and Alexa. There is me in my light.
I don't know that.
And then just the way that I set up my studio, which is really cool. And I'm going to sit down in my chair for this to get you a little bit more level with it. Just waiting for the lighting to adjust. But the mic's just chilling. I put up paneling behind the, behind the bed. I have a desktop too, which is great. Trying to get it to not focus on the screen. I even added a little camera mount there for live streams, which is great. Use that already. But yeah, in terms of using space, it came out really well. Turning over to the wall by the door, I mounted my guitars. I used to have 2 floor stands for them, but I felt that this was the better way to kind of do it. Then over there is my corner shelf. Again, I was going for a lot more greenery to set up the vibe, so I got a pothos plant. Love this thing. I have my watch box. My essential oil diffuser, which is going to flicker because it's classic. I'm using the Defend Blend from Whole Foods. It's actually very nice. Kind of fallish, very clovey. I set up this Lego Friends set because I thought it was on brand. I love the show and I'm in New York now. And then I have a bunch of my books. Everything from Enneagrams to oysters. Set up the good winter coats over in the back here. Obviously a little bit of room for laundry. Closet set up. Yeah. And then if we get up to the bed again, this is my view on a day-to-day basis. Not bad. As you can see, it's not as cramped as it looks. I have enough room from my bed to the ceiling that I don't wake up and hit my head. And I can't stand on it, but obviously I don't really think anybody wants it. You can tell how sort of like not the most stable thing here. This was the new edition that came in the mail today because I realized that I need some sort of desk type thing to put my laptop in, my phone, when I am sleeping. I do have extra storage space up there, which I'm going to fill at some point. Right now, they're just blankets and stuff. But yeah, in terms of space, I really like how I did it. I'm fortunate that I was able to get things like a closet and ceilings that are this high. One of the important things, too, compared to my room in Boston way back when, is I sort of have my bed set up, and then I have my studio. I don't know if you can see that, but there's literally a gnat by my face. My God. I just want to guy out of the air, but nope, I'm not fast. I don't have those reflexes. But yeah, so in East Boston, I have my bed set up. Then I have one desk with the PC tower. Then I had another desk with all the studio setup stuff. Now it's all streamlined to one desk, and I just switched the inputs for the computers. The keyboard's under the desk, which is great. It was important for me going from the East Boston place to make sure that I had separate studio and living spaces. That was one of the benefits of moving back home, is I saw that that was something that I needed. When I was like 13, I had everything in the same room, and it was basically like that through freshman year of college in my dorm, up until that apartment in Eastie where I did the same thing, and then I moved back home and realized having separate spaces is nice because it means that you can do your work separately from sort of like your sleeping and your living. And lofting a bed, totally the same vibe. I feel like I'm in 2 different spaces. I have my bed for chilling out and sleeping, and then I have my studio stuff that I can use for gaming, I can use it for music production, I can use it for any other work. It's pretty cool. But I think a lot of people don't like the small room thing. You can do a lot with a small room and make it feel a little bit more than just a psych ward. That's kind of the gist of it. Anyway, over the next couple weeks I have some interesting content coming out. I'm going to have a video coming out that's going to celebrate the 1-year release of my album. I'm excited for that. But that's basically it. There's not that much else going on. It's nice to be settled in. I will keep y'all posted. More music content will be coming soon. And hopefully, by the next time we talk, I have a job. Probably not, but we'll find out. But yeah, keep it easy. I'm shooting this after the fact, but I wanted to show the desk setup just a little bit more, where I put the piano, the fact that you can fit the monitors, the desktop's over there, getting in closer to. I don't really have a place to keep the keyboard and mouse for the other computer, so I just kind of leave them there. And when I want to use my little mixer, I just move everything over and I shift that to the side. But headphones, I keep on the pegs of the piano stand. And that's basically it, guys. I mean, you can totally do this. and still have it be a functional space. I am a big fan. Oh, I just rolled into everything. I am a big fan of the way this turned out. Definitely on the vibe that I wanted. And look at that natural light. I mean, come on.